Merry Christmas, everyone. My name is Godzilla, and this is my Christmas special. For today's video, I was going to bake cookies, but unfortunately, I don't have the time or resources. So instead, I'm going to be explaining about the 6 nutrients of food. But as always, before we begin, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on a new video. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into settings and switch on notifications. Without further ado, let's get started. Alright, which should I start with? I will first start with carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are usually identified by the distinct hexagonal shape, but there are 2 different types of carbohydrates: simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. All simple carbohydrates are sugars, such as glucose, lactose, fructose, etc. If a word has the ending "ose" in it, it's usually a sugar. I know what you're gonna say. Godzilla, I thought sugars were bad for you. Well, you're right, but too many are dangerous. If you eat just the right amount, everything will be fine. But some artificial sugars are bad for you, which is why it's important to eat, preferably, glucose. Glucose is generally the base for, I would say, most sugars. Most complex carbohydrates. One type of simple sugar, complex carbohydrate is starch. It and simple sugars are used to give energy to help the body move. Sugars and starches can be broken down, but there is one kind of carbohydrate that can't be broken down, and that is cellulose. You may know it as fiber, and it is commonly found in celery. And if you have it, and as you might notice, at the end, ose. Cellulose, and it's a carbohydrate. Ain't that ironic, isn't it? No, seriously, is that ironic? Anyway, fiber cannot be broken down, but it is necessary for health. It's what pushes all of your leftovers out of your body and into the toilet. If you know what I mean. That sounded so bad. The last thing to know about carbohydrates is that carbohydrates have 4 grams of a single gram of carbohydrates contains 4 calories. The second nutrient is fatty acids, which include fats and oils. A single gram of fat or oil contains 9 calories, but too much can be bad for you. There are 3 kinds of fatty acids: saturated fats, unsaturated fats, and trans fats. I never heard of trans fats before. Well, that's mostly because they're not used anymore, considering that they're really bad for you. They're practically artificial. Practically. And what makes a fat saturated or unsaturated? Oh, that's pretty easy. Saturated fats usually come from animal products and are solid at room temperature. These include meat fat, butter, and whale blubber. On the other hand, unsaturated fats usually come from plants and are liquid at room temperature. This includes olive oil, avocado oil, vegetable oil. You get the idea.
What about fish oil?
There are exceptions, Kong. A fatty acid's job is to protect your internal organs and hold in like some energy or something like that. It's basically all you need to know about them. The next two are vitamins and minerals. These don't have any calories, but are still necessary for your body. Vitamins and minerals generally they generally are found in fruits and vegetables, but they can be found in other places, like medicine. Have you ever wondered where the term an apple a day keeps the doctor away? Well, that term came from the fact that vitamins and minerals usually help the immune system. Have you seen Spider-Man 2? And when Peter Parker jumped over that car, and those kids asked him how he did it? He said something about eating vegetables. He was right. Eat your vegetables, and you probably could do super jumps like Spider-Man. I'm talking about the Sam Raimi one with Tobey Maguire. The next nutrient we're going to talk about also has 4 grams. Has 4 calories in each gram, like fatty acids. But this is protein. Protein probably plays the biggest role in your body. You're basically completely made of protein. Your skin, your teeth, your bones, your organs, and my dorsal fins. Proteins are made up these tiny molecules called amino acids, which contain a nitrogen atom unlike all the other ones. Each amino acid has a specific group called an R group for each one. So there are 20 different amino acids. And when strung together, they create a protein. And when folded together, depending on the shape of the folding, the function is different. Some are structure, others are enzymes, others are storage or transportation, or anything like that. Have you ever wondered why sperm whales can breathe so well underwater? Hold their breath for so long? Well, that's because in all animals, inside our cells are these special proteins called myoglobin. Which hold oxygen. At high concentrations, they stick together, which loses the ability to hold oxygen. But the myoglobin of sperm whales and other marine mammals are positively charged, so they repel one another, so they are able to hold large amounts of myoglobin and therefore oxygen inside their bodies. But if it's too hot or too cold, the proteins will become unfolded. This is called denaturing. When you eat cooked meat, you're eating a denatured protein. And if you're wondering if the protein renatures itself, no, it doesn't. Instead, our DNA has a code to create new proteins. So we basically don't eat protein. We eat the amino acids, which I guess feels a little, well, if you know what I mean. I guess, well, they should call it amino acids. I guess that doesn't sound as appetizing as protein. But you have to be careful with eating all the types of amino acids. If you're a vegetarian and don't eat meat, well, you're probably fine since eggs and milk and animal products that aren't meat are complete sources of protein and contain all the nine necessary amino acids. But if you're vegan, well, you have to eat a variety of different proteins, of different sources different incomplete sources of protein. The final nutrient we're going to talk about is water. Yes, water. Water has no calories, but it is necessary for your survival. Because most of an animal's body is made up of water. If you lose too much of that water, well, you're in trouble. When not enough water is in the body, this is known as dehydration. The last thing I'm going to talk about is, what is a calorie? A calorie is the energy required to raise the temperature of water by 1 degree Celsius. It's not a lot, but it's definitely necessary to keep your body moving. If you have any questions, there are many great books at your local library, or you can simply ask me any questions in the comments below, and maybe I'll be able to answer them.
If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on a new video.
We'll be releasing more videos like this in the future, so stay tuned. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Goodbye.